Ta-da! Back in the pit of misery. Time for surgery. Let's knock this sucker down and see what we got. Alright, we already been through this, but there's been dirt in there. This is ingesting dirt, so what we'll do is we'll be sure to clean that all out. Pull that out. Doesn't look great. But if I look at the underside, it looked like it was sealing, but it wasn't sealing well. I don't know. Maybe that's warped. Maybe it's sucking dirt right up in there. I don't know. No. What I'll do, the underside of the cover has posts that come down and touch these here. And I'm wondering, it doesn't look like it really gets a good grip on that. You know, if you look at the underside of that filter, you know, it's got shiny spots here and there. It's not like this filter's clogged. You know what I mean? The foam filter was doing its job. But it obviously wasn't adjusting. Maybe right here. Maybe right there. And look all around. It might have been adjusting back here. The front face doesn't look like it was really sealing at all back there. Maybe these are long, I don't know. I gotta take a look at these. It could be that it wasn't sealing along that front edge. So I'm looking here, and it didn't look like it got much of a bite. You know, looks like it had a good seal to about right there. I'm going to measure that. I've got all kinds of wonderful measuring tools. I'm going to find out if, well, this is where that is, that far in there. I'm going to measure it with the cover. I'm going to take this thing apart. I never thought to look at this ever before, but I'm going to look at the cover assembly, because if this hole or this hole or this hole or this hole, leave it so that this filter does not clamp snugly on that housing, that could be why it was sucking dirt. Because, I mean, we looked down inside that carburetor, it quite obviously was sucking dirt. And again, you know, what we're interested in is what's going on down below there, but you can see that it was at least sucking dirt. And I'll definitely, like I said, we'll clean that out, get the parts cleaner, everything else. But this wasn't so bad. You know, a little debris in there, which is to be expected. You know, a little filter, but this filter actually isn't awful. I do have brand new ones, but that's interesting. So we'll keep going at it and keep breaking this down, get these covers and stuff off. Got to get this stuff out of the way so we can get down into the story of it. Okay, and a quick thing. We'll get the side bolts off here, and there's ones here. There's one here, little one, another one here. Okay, here, and here. Okay, and then these four come off before this comes off, and that's what this is for here. We'll just zip this off. Done. Hard to do while I'm holding the camera, it really is. There we go. One. There we go. And I'll get these four off and tuck it away. And there's the problem right there. The breather hose was off. Now I know when I put this thing together that was not the case. I don't know. It's not impossible that it backfired. But that being disconnected definitely caused it to ingest air. Wasn't using the filter. The funny thing was is that I had a weak, my fuel pump was working funny, and that I had a weak signal. I also thought I had a leaking carburetor, but I didn't. But it had a weird situation where if I, you know, if you know, it was getting really sensitive to the gas tank venting. There's the problem right there. That seems still pretty pliable. Let me see if it'll fit back up in there the way it's supposed to. Oh, it's all full of shit. That almost, oh. Yeah, she'll fit up in there. Huh. All right. We'll have to review that again. Doesn't matter. It's still got to come down now because it fucking blows oil. So it doesn't matter. But that's what's going on. Tube was blowing right by. If I have to replace that tube, I'll replace that tube too. You can't introduce air into the intake system. Geez, it's not apart already? Aha. Before you take it apart, you got to know what you got. Got to check that and play. So no, I'm not going to crack it apart just yet. I got the shields off, cover off. So now it's time to get the governor assembly, the intake manifold, and the heads, exhaust pipes. But I'm going to check the end play and know what it is before we finish taking it the rest of the way down. I'm pretty sure it's around 22 to 25 because that's what it was when I put it back together. And there we go. So next step, end play, and then we take the top of the motor off. Okie dokie. Now we're set up with that end play. And again, we've got our mid-2 set to 0. She no movie. Okay, now we're going to check our end play. Okay, what we got there? I don't want to get glare on the lens, but come on. Foci, you piece of... Sorry, the camera's got video. That's 22. It's a tick under 1,000. 22. We'll take it back to 0. I just want to set that. I want to get that as good as I can. I'm getting movement here. Hold on. I'll tighten this up. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to reset it. I got it cocked. Alright, let's try that again, and I turn the light off so that hopefully I'll get a better focus. And I think we're on 0 now. Alright. I got 23, 22 and a half, 0, 22, 0, that. 22.5 maybe. 0. 22. Okay. So, you know, last time we used the old Craftsman. This time we used the Mitutoyo. Come on. Focus, you fuck. 2. Ah. It's having problems focusing. There we go. 22. 0. Okay. So we know it's 22. All right. Again, I just want to make sure that I got this broken down. So now start to pull these apart before I do anything else. And yeah, that's the Mitutoyo kit. This is my favorite. I like the Lufkin, I like the Brown and Sharp, I like the Starrett. But for some reason, I just love this Mitutoyo better than any of the other ones. It's just, I don't know. I still like the Craftsman too, but this is my favorite kit. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to knock off the exhaust pipes here, right here, here, and we're going to knock off these. And yeah, that's going to change the governor setting, but we're going to pop this spring off and that one down in there. I don't know if you can kind of see it, but we're going to pop those two loose off the governor arm. And then we're going to remove this bracket here and here. Okay, and that's going to allow us to just disconnect this up here. And then we'll get that out of the way. We'll pull this off of here. And then we're going to pull the two manifold bolts here and here. And over here and here. And of course, we're going to run this all through the parts cleaner. All right. So we already checked the end play. We're just going to get all of this stuff off the top and, you know, clear that off and get it knocked down. Okay. We got the exhaust pipes off. Put the screws back in, of course. And we got the governor bracket off. Put the screws back in, of course. We've got the carb broke loose. And luckily, the gaskets on the exhaust came out really nice, but I got brand new gaskets for everything, so I got a full gasket set as well. But I'm just finishing pulling these guys out, and we're going to see if we can save these gaskets too. We'll pop that carburetor off of there as well. So here we go. Okay, we'll now loosen these up, take these guys out. You gotta remember that there's a ground strap there for that carburetor choke. Okay, and this heat shield has to come off because just to make it easier to pull these heads off. So that shield just comes right off of there. Okay, and there's that devilish breather tube. It's actually in good shape. It was just not in the back of the airbox for whatever reason. I don't know. I might have knocked it when I put the motor cover back on or something like that. I'll just have to be really careful about that. We're getting down to the point where we can take a look at the insides and see how bad she might be. Again, those gaskets came off really nice. So, you know, I can kind of slap it back together with the old gaskets and they'll seal. We'll see how it fares. Okay, I just flipped it over just for the heck of it. None of this stuff needs to come off to do this because we got to get the heads off. We don't really need to pull the breather assembly. Whoop, we might, but again, these heads come off, but that can all be done with it flipped over on this. So this is just a handy thing to leave it on. Again, the motor will rotate independent of this. Okay, so I can pull the cam and everything else out while leaving the ignition on and the flywheel on. There's, you know, I'm not pulling the crank out of this thing. And again, we just had it apart not too long ago, and that seal underneath is good. The alternator's brand new, so there's really no reason to pull the front of this off. That'll make it a little easier because this baby's 150 foot-pounds. And if I don't need to pull it apart, there's no reason to take it out. There's no junk underneath the flywheel or anything like that. It's, you know, it's pretty clean. You can see there. So we're just going to flip it back over. Again, this is more just to show. We're going to leave all of this gear on the unit and have it on you know, just resting on this. And it'll be fine that way. We can, again, douse it with a parts cleaner and hit it with an air gun, and it won't damage any of this stuff. So we can keep the short block with the crank in it this way. Again, I won't be, you know, jerking it around a whole lot, but you know, there's not a real reason to pull all of this apart. So this will probably just stay together. But we'll pull the heads and then pull the back cover, cam, pistons, all of that stuff's coming out. So let's get it flipped over and continue on with the surgery.